Hello, my lovelies. It's me. I am so excited about this build. There are a couple of builds that I have been curious why I hadn't seen them, particularly on the building channels, because when I have seen people do iconic American architecture for, a home for their sim, I always see them do a shotgun house for some reason, and shotgun houses. Today's cuppa, by the way, is coffee again. It's probably going to be coffee for a minute. We really need to make a tea order. My housemate didn't realize how much she had dominated the house with her oolong addiction until she went to try to make. Uh, a friend of ours is like, I don't know about tea. I don't know what tea I like. And she's like, I will make tea flights. And so there was like a green tea, a yellow tea, a blue tea, a red tea, a black tea, so that he could try all the things. And she realized she almost couldn't do it because we were so tea depleted, because I drink tea a lot. And I don't like oolong. So all we had left was like 12 different kinds of oolong. We're making an order soon, but it's going to be coffee for a minute. Anyway, the shotgun house is a very particular build, which is a part of a very narrow, not only a very narrow time period, but a very narrow geographic area. Like, this was specifically made in mining communities in the late 1800s. So it's fascinating to me that we don't have things that were objectively more ubiquitous. Like, if you go all the way up and down East Coast, you're gonna see East Coast salt boxes. If you go all over the Midwest, you're gonna see American Foursquares, and objectively for longer amounts of time than they were producing the shotgun house. So today we are finally gonna make an American Foursquare. We're gonna do it for our final Plum Gen build, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to make... You're not what I wanted. We need to make 3 square floors. And the top one is going to be the smallest. Are these square... I'm not sure. I'm going to count squares. I'll be right back. All right. We might be shrinking down this top floor. Actually, yeah, we are. We're going to take it in just 1 square in every direction, because very distinctive dormer windows type spaces are like a thing. We want a big one in the back. We want 2 smaller ones on each side. I'm gonna get the exterior as I want it, and then the back can be another wide one or another set of shorter ones. Did I miscount, or did I shrink you uneven amounts? You're square enough. Alright. So, how much is this? Oh, this is already proving big. I think we're gonna shrink this puppy down, because we have the budget we have. So we will have a smaller build. Excuse me while I shrink all of this. Alright. Oh, I need to move this over, or just shrink it just a little. It is still wider than the side ones, which is the important thing. Alright, now we're going to put on the front porch and the back extension and the cellar, because there's always a porch for sitting upon in an American Foursquare. We'll go 3 deep in the front and 2 deep in the back. The back extension is more... Oh no. The back extension is more to provide a little more space for your kitchen dining room, because this is a time period where they tended to smaller bedrooms. There is a lot of misconception about how to put this. Since open floor plans became popular, there is a lot of misconception over why rooms were the way they were before, when really open floor plans have only existed for they were really only a thing starting in the 1940s and 50s. I'm gonna try to keep this right. We need to replace this with a fence already. I'm gonna try to keep this to a few packs. I'm gonna try to keep this to a couple packs. I'm gonna use the new mudroom pack because I really, really want to. I am going to use the I'm going to use Life and Death, obviously. And I might slip in bits and pieces from a couple of others. But we're going to pick a porch railing so I can put the steps where I want to. How are we doing for funds? Yeah, we've already spent half our budget. But it doesn't need to be fully furnished when we move in, because we're going to bring a lot of our furniture with us just for realism's sake. Well, like I was saying, the open floor plan really started to be a thing with the advent of electronic appliances. Before that, you had your public spaces and you had your private spaces. And so, you know, let's move this a little bit. There's usually a subtle curve to the parlor window, but I'm not sure we can do that without eating a lot of the porch and making the porch look kind of silly. We'll try it. We will try and see if we can do this. And if we end with an empty building, then so be it. All right. So this front space, it's kind of divided into squares. So we're going to divide it into quarters, and hence American Foursquare. And then we're going to break it up further. Also, we're going to do the back porch, which is going to enter into the dining room. And then this is the kitchen. I am working off of a floor plan. Now I'm going to build my staircase outside the lot. I'm going to try to choose sturdy stairs of stone. Are you wood? Unremarkable staircase. The important thing is that you're cheap. You know what? If we have to, we'll change the color later. And we're going to want 2 turns in this. And we're also going to want to get rid of that bit. Now this puppy is going to go in the front hall. You know what? And we'll tuck another room behind it. And then next to it, going down, will be the stairs to the basement. Does that work? Okay, the basement isn't quite placed where I thought it was, right? Because we've been moving the house around. Let's move the stairs up on it, and we will have a more... Why can't I stack this? Oh, right, because I did these stairs backwards. Since we have all of this, let's get some lights. We may actually shrink this further. I have a lot more space than I thought I did when I was just putting it together without anything inside. So this might get shrunk even further. In fact, I'm probably gonna do that. All right, let me shrink this down to where it needs to be, and then I will get back with all of you lovely people. I did not realize how huge I was making this. Okay, I've shrunk things down so our main floor doesn't look silly. And now we're gonna put in the bedrooms where I want them. Where are you putting the stairs to your attic? Huh. The stairs to the attic are not in the floor plan I found. That's interesting. And we need to slide our stairs over to get all the bedrooms. All right, So I want this stairway to move over one and up. You know what? We're gonna curve these stairs. They currently sit here. I want 1, 1, 2, and then I should be able to put these steps over them. Yes. There. And then we have 2 bedrooms here, a small bedroom here, the master bedroom, and the bathroom. We actually have a little bit more of a landing than the original. So what I'm gonna do an inset here, and then we can have a master bath and an ensuite bath. So this poor unfortunate first doorway is gonna be right at the top of the stairs. That's the upstairs floor plan. Let me put a toilet in both of the bathrooms so I don't confuse myself when I've done the whole downstairs. You'd be like, I've done the whole downstairs and what is what? Oh, that's right. The other reason why I wanted to do this build is I did a great deal of talking in my review video for the Enchanted by Nature pack about the difference between Art Nouveau and arts and crafts movement, and the can't intersect with walls. Oh, I'm trying to put it through the wall. Let's slip this bathroom 1 square over, tuck the stairway. I'm going to have to, can this do what I need it to do? Yes. Sweet. I keep missing. Now, we might not be doing much more than just setting this house up because this is already 2/3 of our budget. But besides all of the things about American architecture I said before, this was the most common type of home during the arts and crafts movement in America. Like, this was the house that meant that movement in the United States. So let's get some roofs on this puppy. We want this to actually be quite steep. We can't actually make these guys steep enough. Oh, how are we going to get the iconic roof? Because this has got an iconic roof. I think we're going to narrow these just to make it look a little more square and to differentiate more between these and the one in the front. This looks kind of odd now, but what it's going to do later is nice and we like it. Let's see if we can get the effect I want because I need those square corners. I'm going to do a half-hipped roof. I'm going to do it all along this edge. And we want the top of the roof to align with the top of the wall. There. Okay, so copy this. Rotate it. All right. And then the top of the roof, we want to keep the same angle, but we want a much shorter roof. And we want just enough roof up here. Shoot, we need to keep the angle. We need it to be tiny. We'll do it with platforms. We'll do it with platforms. We'll make it work. I don't like the way the roof trim looks, but I don't see a way around it. Sometimes you need to make these compromises. We'll try to choose a final roof trim. We'll try to choose a final roof trim that'll blend in better. This is a little tall, and what we're gonna have to do is draw a platform. You just want to bump this platform up until it matches the height of the roof. There. This will hopefully look less silly when we get the rest as we want it. Now we need to roof the front porch and the back extension. Before we rotate, we're going to hold down our shift key and get rid of that inside eave before it can interfere with our interior furniture. Because if that eave comes in, if your Sims is feeling glitchy today, it will be obnoxious. That is really, really flat. Do you want to go to medium height rooms just so we can have less stupid looking roofs and still have windows? Oh, let's do it. Because then we can bring the roof line up to here. And it just looks silly and still has window space. Building in Sims is all about these compromises. Do we want it to look stupid this way or that way? All right. So now we need to do the last little bit of fancy, because the last little thing was getting the roof angles for these inserts. And then the tops of these about line up with the top of that other roof and what you would frequently see. I don't know if they had actual like widow's walks up there, but there would be these. There is one fence that kind of works. And what you do, what it looked like... No, I want you on top of the... Oh, right, it won't intersect with roofs. So what we're gonna have to do is go into roof sculptures and find something that looks similar enough. Let's try this. Can I slip this? Oh, yes! Oh, baby. It is not quite the look I wanted, but it will do, and we will pick colors later. In the meantime, let's finish the roofs I've been getting distracted from like 20 times. I'm a fully functioning adult. But the reason I'm doing this slightly silly method of copying these and pasting them is so that the roof angle, even in these 3 different sizes, the roof angle will be the same. If we were to stack this one on top of this one, those peaks would line up perfectly. There we go. All right, let's pick our porch fences. We're weirdly far back from the road. That's okay. Oh, no, we want roof sculptures. Oh no, we're looking at porch fences. I was like, I'm going to finish that thing around the top. I want a very simple, just wooden slat fence. Let's do this one. We just need to slip some posts in. And then, except for textures, like we're going to be doing some more with textures. We're going to be doing some more, like obviously we need all of the walls. We're going to need to put in windows. I mean, honestly, if we're going to be keeping all of our furniture, really all we need to do is like windows and textures. Like wallpapers and such. So we'll get that done. And then we'll see where we stand on funds before we continue. We want a big wide staircase right in the middle. We want it almost a perfect third of this space. All right, front door. Okay, I'm going to do some filtering. We are going to do base game, of course. We're going to do Enchanted by Nature. We're going to do Love and Death. We're going to do Cottage Living because it's got a similar vibe. And we're going to do the Grange Mudroom. That will give us lots of choices without, the entire pack getting involved in this. Because that could get real bad real fast. This stuff has purple swatches, and it's within our allotted packs. So is there something better in medium? Not really. All right. Our doors will be a little short for our walls. The world will live on. Let's copy our staircase. We'll put a railing on that. Does this fence have a matching railing? Because not all of them do. All right, let's pick our exterior wallpaper. Let's look at paneling. Do you want to do wood what do the other houses around here have? Okay, you are stone. Okay. Looking at the other lots, we're seeing a lot of stone and plaster. We'll do stone for the lower floor, and then we'll do plaster above. Do we want to do mossy stone? Or do we want to do like a nicer stone? Like this river stone? There isn't a life or death in this stone, but I am liking this. I wish it came with a clean swatch. Because while I love the moss, I feel like you wouldn't let your house get that bad. Do we have a matching foundation for... Okay, if I want a stone foundation that matches, I'm gonna have to go with the verdant stone, which means I'm going to have to match. Which means we're just gonna have moss. It's fine, it's fine. We can, quote, have a fixer-upper. Oh, I don't actually like that line of green between this and the wall. It's what we've got, though. In the States, this would be wood, because we have just a lot of wood to work with. But that is not the case here. Let's look for stucco, because we're seeing a lot of stucco and plaster. Stucco's top stucco. Stucco in basics and pastels. Simply stucco. Let's try simply stucco. Simply stucco has a border trim on it. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Wait, let's look at these worn plaster walls. The exterior, I kind of like the idea of doing the worn plaster to go with the moss on the stuff. But none of these colors are really hitting me. Not for Plum Gen. Do we want to just do... Let's do white. Purple and white always look well together. And we'll have purple for like the windows and things. Let's pick our roof texture next. And I think we're gonna do this worn away shingle in like the purplish shade. I don't know if we can match the roof trim, but we can make sure it's like really tucked back in there. Do this reddish brown. Or, yes, there is a matching purple roof trim. Now, what color in you best matches? Yes, let's do this. How much is this? 185 a pop. All right. Now that's settled. Now we need a floor pattern that goes with this. Which one of these looks the least weird? There. Oh, we need some chimney. We need some chimney to happen. Do we want to do the super fun chimney? The new one? The very whimsical one from the new pack? Yeah, why not? It's not our best exterior, but it's charming. Now we need a wood floor that kind of matches these wood tones. Let's do something worn. We're going with a very worn vibe out here. And all of my good intentions about packs just goes right out the window. We want at least one small window to one side of the door so that we can peek out and see what's what. For the windows and doors, we're going to keep it to the Enchanted by Nature for the simple fact of matching the wood. Perfect. So we can have a little window just so you can peep out the door and say, who is it? And we'll go with the mid-range one. Then, oh, can we actually fit the taller windows? Is this too many windows for a bedroom? Maybe. It's fine. It's fine. Let's put this huge window on the other side of the parlor. And we'll do this flanked by two of these in the dining room. I mean, honestly, these windows being stained glass, we don't actually need curtains. Because you already are... You're not showing anything. Actually, let's lose you. Move you over. And you know what? We'll lose you too. Because then we can have like a little side parlor study thing. Alright, now we need arches for some of this. We need an arch into the living room, and we actually want it a little ways in. And then we want an arch between the living room and the dining room. And then, is there a purple door? This is a very exterior looking door. Actually, do we want to not have this big, huge door and instead have this door instead? I honestly think we do, but I think we're still going to keep this entry space kind of how we have it. All right, this has got kind of a purple vibe. Okay, and then there's no door directly from the kitchen to the dining room. As silly as that sounds, you cut through the butler's pantry. As ridiculous and nonsense as that feels. We'll leave the doors we have here alone. Okay, let's pick floor patterns. And life and death, enchanted by nature. We'll do cottage living, and we will do the mudroom kit. This is all we have for flooring options. I'm kind of loving this old house, dark old wood. What do we have for tile? What is all the flooring we have with these options? All right, let's do this hard as stone flooring in the kitchen. Oh, that is not what I wanted. I feel like does this feel like it looks dirty? I feel like it might look a little bit dirty. You know, it's fine. And we apparently don't have any carpeting in any of those packs. You know, let's match this beautiful parquet flooring in the living room. We'll use rugs and such to give the rooms different vibes. And actually, let's go with a different wood color upstairs. We'll give it older. Oh, this has got kind of a purple tone. There is no light in the hallway. There will be. And then we'll do this golden color. And we'll make this... Actually, that's the smallest bedroom. We'll make this into Copper's room. Oh gosh, I have been at this for an hour and we just have flooring and some of the windows. I'm actually gonna put a wall instead of a railing. Yeah, I'm gonna put a wall there. We haven't even finished windows. We didn't even finish windows. We want the windows to match, because you're not going to have like hugely different windows. So we'll just use the Enchanted by Nature windows in the purple swatch. I think we'll use these wider ones for the side windows. And we'll just mirror this on the other side if we can. Because it's like, partly it's a thing where you have to match the windows. You want to have similar vibes, but you also don't want to look too stupid compared to the floor below. And we're going to keep these further to the outside. We'll do just a little bathroom window for light. The little short one. Where did you go? There. And we'll do these on all of these dormers upstairs. Okay, we're picking wallpapers and lighting. Oh my god, we're already over budget. Because I picked the fancy things. Oh no, oh no. It's okay, we're getting all our furniture from the old house. Lighting, wallpaper, and we'll call it good. Alright, we want some exterior lights for this entry. I want a torch to hang beside the door. Oh look, it is even purple. Subtle saucers. We can have, oh, what's the word? We can have environmental lighting later. Oh, definitely want old nasty wood floors up here. For the wall pattern up here, I think I kind of want to do one of the wood panels from the mudroom. There's a new mudroom kit. It doesn't have anything remotely purple. I like it, but it's not purple at all. Why does this game hate purple? Purple birch leaves. It is in the attic. Oh, the windows are so weird inside the bedrooms. I kind of love it though. I admit I kind of love it. Yeah, this is kind of great actually. Alright, so we want the wallpaper for the master bedroom. Let's do our pack limitations. We'll do base game because we're gonna have to. Alright, we definitely want to use this in the master bedroom. Have that big, beautiful mural. It kind of matches a little bit. It's not great. It's not looking great, guys. I'm gonna call a shenanigan on this pack because there's no plain wallpaper that matches this here. But for the sake of matching in this bedroom, we're gonna do the birch on the other 3 walls. Just so the purples match. You know, I do think I'm gonna shrink down this master bath though, just to have a bigger bedroom. What orange options do we have? Color limitation, orange. I know this is moss on stone, but it's kind of a vibe. Or we could do this orange concrete. Or do we want to give him the birch as well? I think we're going to give him this one with all of the color variation on it. And we'll pretend it's not moss. Alright, let's clear the orange. Put back up purple. And we'll pick some perfectly nice walls. Like, look at how few options there are in purple. This is honestly kind of upsetting. Alright, we'll do a basic standard here. We'll do a basic standard here. The fact that there are no tile walls bothers me so very much. Do we have any purple floor tiles for... There's no bathrooms downstairs. It just occurred to me that the downstairs has no bathroom. There is none in the floor plan either. Oh, wait. No, there is no bathroom in the floor plan. Should we... You know, this is more than enough room for a bathroom through the kitchen. We'll do a 3rd bathroom there. And there's 3 bathrooms at the old house. We can keep all of that stuff. You know, let's do this white in the bathrooms. You know, it doesn't have to be purple. It can coordinate with purple. Oh, I want to do one of these fabulous... Like, I know they're... You know what? This is kind of a plummy purple. It didn't show us a purple in the stuff. Oh my gosh, look at how much the floor matches. We'll do rugs. We will do rugs. Alright, tile. You know what? Let's look at tile walls for our bathroom. We can just have them all match. It's fine. It's fine. Our biggest, nicest bathroom is going to be downstairs through the kitchen. Alright, we'll do purple by eye instead of purple by sim. Alright, we're going to do this in the parlor living room. We're going to do... None of these have like a purple vibe even. You're kind of a green with purple accents, and I like how you go with the windows. And for the grand dining room, we can have a mural wall. Let's do the owls. And I think we're going to switch out the birch for one of these life or deaths. Let's do this more muted rose. It's more of a rose than a purple. But we're at 33k. Ugh, and we still haven't picked a mudroom. You know what? Let's go a little silly. Let's use this. Okay. We're definitely going to have a fireplace somewhere in here. But I actually do not hate this at all. Let's do some terrain painting. We'll dig around and debug for what we can find for trees. On the one hand, with the textures, we managed to make it like match the neighborhood pretty well. On the other hand, this is such a ubiquitously middle America build. Like, oh my gosh, I have seen so many of these on just around my home. This is, honestly, I'm kind of delighted. All right, let's pick, or do we want to do square and have like a really like regimented path, even if it's faded? Make you bigger. Definitely need a paler, oh gosh. Let's soften that up. I'm trying to get a better match for the road out front. Those tones aren't as matchy as I would like. Kind of maybe some of this. Because I don't know what they had out here. I'm gonna erase all of this and start over. Because I keep adding layers to make it match and it keeps not helping. This is a better vibe. We'll just little touches of darker earth. Because like there's these darker, wetter spots. We'll go really, really pale in a couple of places. Because there's a lot of different tones happening out here. Alright. Mailboxes are free and you are ugly. I believe mailboxes are an appliance. Yes. We're definitely going with the new mailbox. Look at it. How gorgeous is that? Oh, the dark purple. Glorious. Okay, I'm gonna check. Alright, let's get some debug. Alright, we are in debug, and we just need to scroll through until we find trees and the like. Alright, you're a potential tree. I'm just gonna slip all of the trees that I find out here. Interesting shrubs. Oh look, we can place an anglerfish. Finish the fish collection, anyone? I don't think we want any pine or palm trees. Ooh, I love how this tree is just dripping with Spanish moss. Definitely want one of those. Okay, these... You are not the vibe. I kind of like these weeping firs, though. Alright, I don't actually like you. You don't actually look like you fit. Kind of like having the idea of one of you over the house. What else do we have? Can I sort debug by the packs we want to use? Oh, I love this weeping willow. I love a weeping willow. You know, I actually like this better. Oh, good, and some shrubs. We can replace these with like nicer like flowers and bushes. But I love the idea of just some... they had like nice hedges and then they just let it kind of go to garbage. Oh, but I love these ferns right up on top. We found some flowers. Oh, we can have vine. We can have the vines we can't afford growing up our walls. Love this. This mushroom covered stump. I'm gonna put a couple of these over by the tree line. Like, there were more trees here, but there were too many and they were getting unhealthy, so they cut them down. Oh, this is so good. Hey, do you want that big stone face in our yard? Alright. So, it is a little over budget, and it is quite silly, and deeply, deeply, deeply self-indulgent. But I am so pleased with our nonsense final Plum home. Though looking at it, I am gonna lower these windows. Alright, there we go. That is still not ideal, but better. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I am thinking we have one, maybe two more videos of Plum Gen, because all we have left is to level those 2 skills, remarry Zelmira, and move the last time. So that is not going to take us terribly long. If things are really, really quick, I think we could do it in 1. We might take 2. But in the meantime, this has been the build for our final Plum Gen house, our 3rd Plum Gen house, and I am looking forward so much to moving our family into this. If not next, it's going to be with our marriage to Zelmira is when we're going to move into this home. And we'll bring all of our furniture in, so we will decorate with our furniture then. It's going to look a little silly at first, and that's just how it's going to be, because our furniture is very modern and was picked for the environment that we're in, but we also want to be able to afford our house. So budgets are what budgets are, and this stuff was all very expensive. These were all very expensive windows and doors, and like each of these little Cornell pieces was like almost 200 simoleons. If you enjoyed this build video and would like to see more of my silly, indulgent American builds, this was an American Foursquare. It's easy to see why it's called a Foursquare, because it's divided into squares. On every level, everything's divided into a square. It's 3 squares stacked on top of itself, which is, if you count the attic, it's 4 levels, each level divided into 4 squares. It is the most literally named architectural name in the history of ever, as far as I know. If you know otherwise, please share. I want to know. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, a comment, maybe even subscribe, and ring the notification bell to bring you back for more nonsense sim content. Have a happy time zone wherever in the world you are, and I will see you guys next time.